Gentlemen, you'll start on my whistle. Riders ready!
Alright, so sorry for the delay of posting these videos up, but it's been kind of busy. So anyway, this is day 3 of the Pro-Am. This is the Masters A Category 1, 2, 3 race. And this is the Automobile Alley course. So I started on the front row this time. Didn't want to take any chances of getting caught too far back. So kind of just rolling around, a little parade lap, I guess you could say, and get a little overview of the course here. So it's kind of a, I guess you could say it's like a 6-corner, kind of a L-shaped type course, and it's a pretty fun little course layout. It's basically pretty flat. As you come out of this corner, you kind of got a little semi-climb here. Nothing too major, but it's about a block long climb, then it kind of levels out, and then it goes down for maybe a block or so, and then winds up going back there out on Broadway. And it's kind of the way this course is, or just kind of the area, I guess you could say, is the shop that I work at is just right up here on the left-hand side, just before you get to the corner. Actually, have shops on both sides there, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun atmosphere to the yellow building there. That's where I work, so it's kind of fun being able to race there right in your own kind of backyard on the road you ride to work on and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, this is I basically kind of just cut to the did the first lap. This is about maybe 20 minutes in, and I don't know, this was kind of somewhat of a dumb move that I made that may or may not could have worked out at some point. But anyway, I tried to stay near the front, and starting to get a little racy at this point, and so somebody had attacked up the road. I don't know if that was, I think it was like one of the Cadence guys, and Hunter East, Micah, and those other guys. Looked like a pretty serious move, so I jumped to go with it there. And as we coming up the hill here, everybody kind of just sat up there, so I had all this momentum coming up the hill, so I just kept rolling. I don't know, just sort of figured I'd keep the momentum. We had a little gap behind us, so thought maybe I could get some guys to jump on, hit this corner, and I had a little gap, and I don't know, I was kind of starting to sit up here, and then they just come up on a preem lap. I don't know if it was like 25 or 45, and so I was like, well, kind of thought about maybe trying to go for it. We still had a little, I actually had a little gap on everybody right here, so I just sort of thought, well, I'll kind of just, I don't know, maybe I'll keep going, and some best case, I'll get the preem, or worst case, maybe there'll be a small group of us and we can kind of keep going. But kind of, I don't know, neither one really played out. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know exactly what was. I glanced back a few times, but just watching the video and kind of trying to rethink what was going on. I kind of still had it, in my mind that, well, maybe I can just get this preem, and had a little gap, and so I don't know. Basically, in the end, it just burned a lot of matches for no reason. Basically, which kind of, I don't know if it was something that potentially could cost me at the end or not, but I would have to think so. But anyway, I'm coming through here and just about to get going, and then Chad Cagle passes me pretty fast with Duval, and so Cagle's already in a pretty big gear, and so I wouldn't say I was winded, but didn't have much to really. I didn't really feel like I needed to jump that hard, if so it would have pretty much killed me. But I don't know. No, but this was kind of a weird deal. Hunter took off here, and I think he actually had some chain suck or something. Kind of had his chain caught in somewhere, and I think it ended up breaking his frame. I'm not sure, but anyway, this took another lap or so, and nobody really wanted to come around, so I don't know. It's kind of just a a waste in the end. It all came back together, so pretty much blew that. But, yeah, anyway, we're coming up on 10 to go right here, and for the most part it was just a kind of a ride along for pretty much the most of the race. A few moves, tried to get away, but nothing really stuck. It's all back together, so it's kind of breaking up here a little bit. You'll see some gaps here and there, but it's strung out and starting to get pretty fast at this point. So like I say, we just took 10 to go, and this was kind of, I don't know, as far as the way this whole thing goes down. This is really at the 10 to go point. This is really when the real racing starts in this race. So this is really the majority of what this video is. It's kind of just the last, kind of the last section. So anyway, Matt Ankney, I'm riding behind his wheel, and he takes off here. And this was kind of a weird deal. I think Duval got crossed wheels with somebody, crashed right there, and I kind of kept on the gas, on Matt, and there's some guys attacking. So this was kind of a nice little break here. We're rolling. I look and I see the guys that are up there, and that's a pretty serious move, one that would stick. So I pretty well gave it, just about everything I had to bridge up to these guys. And I remember looking back here, and we had a huge gap pretty quick on the field. So we just got going and started working it, and I don't know. I was for sure at this point, that kind of this late in the race with the guys that were in there, that there was definitely some heavy hitters. There's Hunter East right in front of me, and I think that's Peter up there, and then Matt Ankney's directly in front of Hunter there. I think there's one of the Cadence guys that is up the road there too. So I'm kind of just sitting on at this point. I may have recovered somewhat, but the going was definitely hard, at this point. So Matt Ankney attacks again. I don't know if Peter and the other guy got back on, but had to put another hard dig in right here. And so I remember right about when I got to this point, Waddell had bridged up. So I think it was, Waddell was yelling at Matt Ankney to go here. And so this kind of was where it started to really get hard. But I don't know, I don't think we got organized quite soon enough. Hunter put in a little hard dig there, but I didn't know if he just didn't like the way it was shaking out or whatever. But this was with the guys that were in here at this point. We're going pretty hard, and I thought I looked back again and saw that we had a nice gap still going, but I don't know. Basically, we went at it here for a lap or two. It's like obviously the Cadence guy made it back in, but it's just we just weren't super. If we would have got into a quick rotation, we probably would have been okay. But I was still trying to recover from that second little burst there. So it's really hard to say. This could have been a deal where this, obviously the move didn't stick in the end, but it very well could have. So, bottom line, I pretty well put all my, energy I had at this point into, trying to make this break successful, and, obviously it wasn't. Waddell taking a pull. And, if we, it's really hard to say. I don't know if too many guys, got in here and there's some sitting on or whatever, but bottom line, it didn't work out. And so, I don't know. I pretty well just torched myself, trying to keep this going. I think we're taking, I don't know if that was 7 or 8 to go, maybe. Yeah, it's, just driving it hard and stuff. And I guess, some of the other, guys, I know some of the Schlegel guys worked it, really hard and bridged back up to us and stuff, which, I don't know who all. There may have been some, sound pony dudes too. There was 3 sound pony guys, but it's hard to say really. At this point, I wasn't really watching. Should have been keeping an eye on, what was going on behind, but wasn't really. And so, I don't know. I think this next, after we start climbing the hill, this is kind of when we get caught. And if I'd have known, I probably wouldn't have taken this little pull, but going up the hill, and I think we kind of just get get countered and kind of swarmed at this point. So it's kind of a one of those feelings where you kind of buried yourself just for a few laps there, and then come to find out it's just all right back together. So that's basically went. We rode around for another, I don't know, 3 laps or so, and then it started kind of getting racy again. This is, I think we're about to be taking 4 to go, maybe at this point, 3 or 4 to go, and kind of made another little error here. I'd kind of regrouped and recovered enough to where I definitely probably should have been able to still have a pretty decent finish, but I don't know, kind of made another mistake, or I don't know. In hindsight, it seemed like it was a mistake, but it could have very well worked out as well. So it's just kind of one of those things. You got to just kind of take chances and go with stuff sometimes, but it's sometimes it works out and sometimes not. So I think it's kind of this next straight where it starts to go down, but we're going to be, I believe we just took 4 to go. I think, I'm not 100% positive, but a little lull in the field, so I punched it here, and I don't know, there's a small group up the way there, and hindsight, I probably should have just stayed back with these guys and let somebody else do the work. And I had a gap right here, and so I was gonna, that's another dangerous group of guys up there. So I punched it, burned way too many matches here to bridge up to them, and by the time I got within striking distance or close, I had been basically caught, and so I was kind of pulling a bunch of people around right up to the break there. So in my mind, I thought, well, get it back up together, reshuffle, and I'll be in a good position, at least for the end. I could set in just for a minute. So I don't know, that was kind of, I guess, my thinking at the time. But in hindsight, if I would have just made, these guys may have stayed away, or if I would have maybe gambled on just sitting back in the field and letting them tow me back up to the move, then that probably would have been the smart way if it would have worked out like that. But anyway, once I made contact, I was pretty winded, and I think Matt Agney attacked there again, and I basically had nothing at that point to go. So it's just kind of right back in the mix, so at this point I was just figured I'd ride along and try to see what I had at the very end, which it's was kind of just a waste. Once it got down to the last lap, I just honestly didn't have really too much to go with there. So I think this may be 2 to go, 1 to go, 3 to go, 2 or 3 to go, I guess. And so it's obviously getting pretty fast, a little faster at this point, and it's kind of difficult to recover when it starts really winding up the last couple laps or so. So yeah, that's I don't know. This is probably about the position I finished, I would guess. I tried to start moving up, but it was just kind of, honestly, it was just kind of all in, all waste. I didn't really have anything to sprint or go hard. I'm just kind of hanging on by a thread, actually, and just using just draft and momentum to get through some stuff there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that was 2 to go, so this is coming up on the bell lap. And you know, it's like I'm struggling. There's a gap, you know, in front of me. It's a struggle just to stay on the guy's wheel in front of me. So trying to get some momentum coming downhill. See if I can maybe recover or whatever. You know, I don't know. It was, you know, I could still see the front of the race, and you know, coming around the last corner, I could still, you know, it was pretty much right there, but I just didn't, you know, just didn't have anything. Yeah, that was pretty much it. If I had had another 3 or 4 matches left in the match book at this point, it could have been a, you know, I don't know, I think I definitely could have gotten the top 10, or I don't know, maybe better, but you know, working it pretty good here, passing quite a few guys, you know, and you know, again, you can see the front of the race right there. It's not, you know, too far off. You can get a good run coming down the one, you know, this little downhill, you know, had a pretty good run here, and then, you know, if you can get a good run off of this next corner up that little hill with some momentum, it's, you know, you can, that's really where the sprint actually begins right here. So, you know, and you can see the front's right there, so it's right there for the taking, but I just, you know, started to get on it here, and it was just, there's just nothing left, you know, it just started firing blank. So just sat up, you know, I didn't want to get in the way, and you know, starting to see stars at this point, so it's better off just sit up and not crash somebody. So yeah, that was basically it. It's still a fun weekend all in all, and yeah, so thanks for watching.